It is, absolutely. Amit Mann is an NBA reporter with Yahoo Sports Canada. He joins me now. Amit, a lot of people really trying to come to terms with this. We've spoken, you just heard Joe there saying, you know, a complete shock of all of this, sort of people trying to refresh their Twitter feed saying, is this actually happening? Talk to me about Kobe Bryant's legacy.
I mean, his legacy is that he's one of the greatest players of all time. There isn't going to be another Kobe Bryant. No one's going to be able to match his compete level, his ferocious determination. The Kobe way is something that is becoming synonymous in the NBA because he just had this work ethic that no one could match. And people know the Kobe face that when he is locked into a game, like you don't test him because of that's how great he was. He could not be stopped. I mean, his legacy, like it's hard to put into words right now because he just meant so much to basketball.
Mm-hmm.
He's done so much for the game itself. He's done so much in terms of just growing the game, especially for women as well. It's really, really sad. Like I'm still in shock. This is incredible and not in a good way.
No, absolutely not. Leaving behind a wife and 4 children.
Yeah.
If you could give us a little bit more of the personal meaning for you, Amit. You know, and we're talking to a number of sports writers who felt a very close connection, writing about him, following him, you know, seeing the legacy there. You know, what did he mean to you?
I mean, he was must-see TV. Like, you know, we're on the East Coast, so those 10 o'clock games, those Laker games, were obviously it's hard to stay up for those. But he was a person that you will stay up until 1 a.m. and you go to work and you wake up at 6 a.m. because he is just that great. He was must-see TV. There was no one really like him in terms of like who he is now. Like people knew the competitor, but we really have seen like the softer side of him lately. He's doing a lot more smiling. He was a person who was really, really devoted to basketball, and we saw him as a father figure now, him sitting on the sideline with his daughters, showing them the game of basketball. Like he was an overall just a sports person, and he was really, really committed to helping grow sports in every direction, right? I mean, he was a person that when he spoke, people listened because of his the admiration they have for him. And now at this moment, like he's always going to have a legacy with the NBA and with sports. And now I guess we're in mourning at this stage.
Yeah, and great determination on the court,
Yeah.
Amit. He suffered some pretty, you know, major injuries, the Achilles tendon back in 2013, and then fracturing his knee, you know, just 6 games into the 2013-2014 season, but he championed back pretty hard.
He did. I mean, I think about like the times that I spent watching him, and he was to be feared on the court. When he was on the court, I think most players, like whether they say so or not, they got a little bit starstruck, a little bit scared because of what he was capable of. You know, at this stage, like it really is just, it's so sad that this happened. It's really hard to find the words. It's a tragic loss for the NBA, for sports. He was going to go on and do some really great things in his life. He was branching out to acting. He was branching out to production. He was doing coaching. He was doing a lot of charity work. He was really just like entering the next phase of his life. And he was doing it happily, too, because he had done everything he had to do with basketball. And now it was about making a new legacy for himself as just a human being, not as a basketball player, but just as Kobe Bryant. And he was in the midst of it, and unfortunately now this happened.
This has happened, and you mentioned there doing more after retiring. In 2018, he earned an Academy Award for the Best Animated Short Film for Dear Basketball.
He did, and that was special. I mean, we kind of also saw that he was a bit of a wordsmith too. Like it was well known that Phil Jackson asked players to read certain books when he was coaching with the LA Lakers. And I think he was a person who was reading quite a bit. Like he desired knowledge. And now that basketball was done with, he had done everything that he had to do with basketball. Now he was branching out and he was just seeking different ways to really just like become a better overall person, to find ways to better himself. And that's kind of at the stage that he was at. And now, unfortunately, that this happened.
Amit Mann, NBA reporter with Yahoo Sports Canada. Amit, we're so sorry. We're so sorry for the NBA world and for all the fans and for the sports world. But we really appreciate you giving us your time. I know it's a very difficult situation, a difficult time, as so many are trying to come to grips with.
Sure.
All right.